There is a quiet fear growing inside many parents today. It does not always show up as panic. Sometimes it sounds like a simple question at the dinner table. Did you use AI for that homework? Sometimes it appears as worry when your teen spends another hour on a screen. Sometimes it arrives late at night when the house is quiet and you wonder whether the world your child is preparing for still exists. Because something has changed. For decades, the promise was simple. Study hard, get good grades, get into a good school, choose a respectable career, work your way up. That path gave parents structure. It gave children direction. It gave families a sense of safety. And then AI arrived. Quietly at first, then suddenly everywhere. Writing essays, solving problems, generating images, coding apps, summarizing books, answering questions, creating videos, doing in seconds what used to take hours. And now, many parents are asking the question they almost do not want to say out loud. If AI can do so much, what will make my child valuable? That is the question, and it deserves a serious answer. Because your teen's future will depend less on how much information they can store and much more on how well they can think, how well they can see, how well they can judge, how well they can create value in a world where intelligence is everywhere. This episode is about that shift. It is about why the old education game is no longer enough. It is about why AI should make us take human thinking more seriously than ever. And it is about how parents can help their teenagers become the kind of young people who do more than survive the age of AI. They become useful in it. They become original in it. They become builders of the future rather than passengers inside it. For most of modern schooling, success has been built around recognition. A student sees a question. They remember the correct method. They produce the expected answer. The teacher marks it right. The student moves forward. This system works well for many things. It is useful when there is a clear answer. It is useful when the world is stable. It is useful when the goal is to recognize a familiar problem and apply a familiar solution. That is why so much of school is built around past knowledge, dates, definitions, formulas, standard essay structures, standard question types, standard answers. Students learn to ask, what does the teacher want? They learn to ask, what is the model answer? They learn to ask, how do I avoid being wrong? And for a long time, that was enough. A child who could recognize the correct pattern faster than others could get ahead. A child who could remember, repeat, and perform under exam pressure could be called smart. A child who mastered the school game could move into the career game. But AI changes the value of that game. Because AI is very good at recognition. It can recognize patterns in language. It can recognize patterns in code. It can recognize patterns in images. It can recognize patterns in arguments, summaries, reports, and instructions. So when a child's education is built only around recognizing the right answer, we have to ask a difficult question. What happens when machines become better at recognition than most humans? This is where many parents feel the fear. They think the answer is to ban AI, take it away, limit it, protect the child from it. And of course, children need boundaries. They need guidance. They need adults who care enough to pay attention. Yet fear alone will never be a future strategy. Another group of parents runs in the opposite direction. They say, then my child must learn coding. So the child is pushed toward tools, languages, platforms, robotics, and technical skills. These things can be useful, yet tools change quickly. The deeper skill is the ability to think clearly with tools that are always changing. Because AI is no longer just a subject, it is becoming the environment. It will touch writing, business, science, design, communication, research, and leadership. So the question is no longer, should my child use AI? The better question is, what kind of thinker will my child become when AI is beside them? Every major technology changes what becomes valuable. When calculators became common, mental arithmetic became less central. When search engines became common, memorizing isolated facts lost some of its power. When smartphones became common, access to information became ordinary. Now AI is making first draft intelligence cheap. A first draft of an essay, a first draft of a business idea, a first draft of a design, a first draft of a summary, a first draft of a plan. This does not mean human intelligence matters less. It means shallow human intelligence is easier to replace. The future will not reward the teenager who merely asks AI for an answer and submits it. That teen may look productive for a while. They may even get good results in the short term. Yet something dangerous happens when a young person uses AI to skip thinking. They lose the very muscle they need most. They stop struggling with uncertainty. They stop forming judgment. They stop learning how to tell a strong answer from a weak one. They stop noticing what is missing. They become dependent on output without developing insight. And when that happens, AI turns from a tool into a crutch. The problem is not AI itself. The problem is untrained thinking. A powerful tool in the hands of a passive mind creates dependency. The same tool in the hands of a trained mind creates leverage. That is the difference parents need to understand. AI will not automatically make your teen smarter. It can amplify whatever thinking habits already exist. If your teen is passive, AI can make passivity easier. If your teen is curious, AI can make curiosity more powerful. If your teen is creative, AI can help turn ideas into visible work. If your teen has judgment, AI becomes a thinking partner. So the goal is not to raise children who avoid AI. The goal is to raise teenagers whose human intelligence becomes stronger when AI enters the room. There is a gap inside traditional education. It is rarely named. Most schools teach students what to learn. Fewer teach students how to think. And even when thinking is discussed, it is often reduced to critical thinking. Find the flaw, spot the mistake, challenge the argument, prove what is wrong. That matters. A teenager should know how to question claims. They should know how to test evidence. They should know how to avoid being fooled. Yet critical thinking alone cannot build a future. A critic can point at a broken bridge. A builder has to design a better one. A critic can say an idea will fail. A creator has to improve it. A critic can win an argument. A leader has to move people forward. This is the thinking gap. We have trained many young people to analyze the past. We have trained fewer to design what comes next. And the age of AI exposes this gap completely, because AI can give your child information. AI can generate options. AI can explain concepts. AI can produce drafts. Yet your child still has to decide what matters. Your child still has to ask the better question. Your child still has to choose the direction. Your child still has to understand people. Your child still has to create value. This is why the future belongs to teenagers who can move from answer-seeking to value-creating. And that shift is enormous. Most students are still trained to ask, "What is the answer?" Future-ready students learn to ask, "What can I build from this?" Most students are trained to ask, "Is this right?" Future-ready students learn to ask, "Is this useful, ethical, clear, and valuable?" Most students are trained to ask, "How do I get marks?" Future-ready students learn to ask, "How do I create something that matters?" That is the shift. From recognition to design, from consumption to creation, from information to judgment, from school performance to real-world output. Before your teen thinks, they perceive. They notice some things and miss others. They label some things as important and dismiss others. They see a challenge as a threat or as a problem worth solving. They see AI as a shortcut or as a creative amplifier. They see school as a game of grades or as training for contribution. Perception comes before action. A teen who sees AI as a cheating machine will use it differently from a teen who sees AI as a thinking partner. A teen who sees themselves as bad at learning will behave differently from a teen who sees learning as a trainable skill. A teen who sees failure as humiliation will avoid difficult work. A teen who sees failed attempts as data will keep improving. This is one reason parents need to be careful with the language they use around AI and learning. If every conversation about AI begins with suspicion, the child learns to hide. If every conversation about school begins with grades, the child learns that performance matters more than growth. If every conversation about the future begins with fear, the child may associate the future with pressure instead of possibility. A parent's words can shape a child's perception, and perception shapes behavior. This does not mean parents should pretend everything is fine. The world is changing quickly. Some jobs will change, some skills will lose value, some old assumptions will collapse. Yet fear must be converted into direction. Your teen does not need vague encouragement. They need a stronger operating system for thinking. They need to learn how to direct attention. They need to learn how to examine assumptions. They need to learn how to generate possibilities. They need to learn how to use AI without surrendering their own mind. That is the work. One of the most painful things about this new era is that many of the students most at risk are the ones who did everything right. They studied, they followed instructions, they learned how to please the system, they became very good at producing expected answers, and then the world changed. Now, being a good student is still valuable. Discipline matters, focus matters, academic knowledge matters, yet the good student identity can become limiting when it trains a teenager to wait for instructions. In the AI age, instructions are everywhere. Templates are everywhere. Explanations are everywhere. Answers are everywhere. The scarce skill is initiative. The scarce skill is independent judgment. The scarce skill is the courage to create something before anyone gives you permission. Many teens have been trained to avoid wrong answers so carefully that they become uncomfortable with original thinking. They want a rubric. They want a sample. They want someone to tell them exactly what success looks like. But real life rarely gives a rubric. Leadership does not come with a worksheet. Innovation does not come with answer keys. The future does not hand your child a model essay and say, "Copy this." The future asks, "What can you see that others are missing?" The future asks, "What can you make better?" The future asks, "Can you use the tools available to create value?" This is why super learning is built around a different belief. The goal is to help teens move beyond passive learning into active creation. They learn to think with AI. They turn ideas into real output. They grow through projects, feedback, and contribution. That is how young people begin to see themselves differently. They are no longer only students waiting to be graded. They become young builders learning how to shape the world around them. AI reveals the quality of your thinking. Ask a lazy question and you usually get a shallow answer. Ask a sharper question and the quality changes. Give vague direction and AI produces vague output. Give clear context, constraints, examples, and purpose, and AI becomes far more useful. This is why prompting is not merely typing. Prompting is thinking made visible. When your teen writes a prompt, they are revealing how clearly they understand the task. Do they know the goal? Do they know the audience? Do they know the constraints? Do they know what good looks like? Do they know what to ask for next? This is a powerful opportunity because every AI interaction can become a thinking lesson. Instead of asking, "Did AI write this for you?" a parent can ask, "What did you ask it?" Then, "Why did you ask it that way?" Then, "What did it miss?" Then, "What did you change?" Then, "What is your own judgment?" These questions matter. They move the child from passive user to active thinker. They also teach a deeper lesson. AI may produce output. Your teen must produce discernment. AI may generate options. Your teen must choose direction. AI may accelerate the work. Your teen must understand the meaning of the work. That is the relationship we want. The machine expands capacity. The human supplies judgment, purpose, taste, ethics, and responsibility. One of the biggest weaknesses in traditional learning is that students often consume knowledge without creating anything with it. They watch lessons, they read notes, they memorize slides, they prepare for tests. Then the test ends, and much of the learning fades. In the AI age, this is a problem, because the world will increasingly reward people who can turn learning into output. A prototype, a presentation, a campaign, a research brief, a useful app, a better process, a community project, a clear explanation that helps others understand something difficult. Output changes the learner. When a teen builds something, they meet reality. They discover gaps in their understanding. They learn that ideas need structure. They learn that communication matters. They learn that feedback is data. They learn that taste develops through revision. They learn that confidence grows through evidence. This is why projects are so powerful. A project gives a teenager visible proof. Proof that they can think. Proof that they can finish. Proof that they can improve. Proof that they can create value beyond a worksheet. In superlearning, this is central. Thinking becomes building. Building becomes sharing. Sharing becomes feedback. Feedback becomes growth. The teen develops a new identity through repeated creation. They stop asking only, "Am I smart?" They start asking, "What can I make better?" That is a healthier question. It moves them out of comparison. It moves them into contribution. The more powerful AI becomes, the more important the human layer becomes. This may sound surprising. Many people assume that if AI becomes more capable, humans become less important. Look closer. When everyone has access to powerful AI, the advantage shifts to the person with better human direction, the person who understands people, the person who can frame problems, the person who can make wise choices, the person who can connect ideas across fields, the person who can lead others through uncertainty, the person who can create trust. AI can generate words. Trust still depends on humans. AI can generate images. Taste still depends on humans. AI can generate plans. Responsibility still depends on humans. AI can simulate empathy. Real relationships still depend on humans. This is why parents should care about more than technical skill. Your teen's future value will come from the combination of human intelligence and AI amplification. They need clarity. They need ethics. They need communication. They need courage. They need emotional maturity. They need the ability to work with people who see the world differently. These are not soft skills. They are survival skills in a world of intelligent machines. A teen who can use AI and understand humans has an advantage. A teen who can build tools and build trust has an advantage. A teen who can think independently while using powerful systems has an advantage. That is where education must go. So what can a parent do? You do not need to become an AI engineer. You do not need to know every new tool. You do not need to keep up with every platform your teenager discovers. Your role is deeper than that. You are helping shape the way your child relates to intelligence itself. Start by changing the conversation. Instead of treating AI as a forbidden shortcut, treat it as a tool that requires maturity. Ask your teen to show you how they used it. Ask what they learned. Ask what they disagreed with. Ask what they improved. Ask what they created after using it. Then watch for the most important signal. Did AI replace their thinking or did it extend their thinking? That is the line. A teenager who uses AI to avoid effort is weakening themselves. A teenager who uses AI to ask better questions, explore possibilities, and produce stronger work is training for the future. Parents can also create a home culture where thinking is valued out loud. At dinner, ask questions with no single correct answer. What is a problem at school that could be solved better? What is something adults misunderstand about teenagers? What is one skill you think will matter more in 5 years? What is something AI can do well, and where does it still need human judgment? These conversations build mental flexibility. They also help your teen practice perspective, and perspective is one of the great thinking skills of the future. Because the world does not need more young people who only know how to defend their first opinion. The world needs young people who can examine a situation from more than one angle, then design a better way forward. For a long time, preparation meant storing knowledge for later. Learn this now, use it someday. That model is changing. Preparation now means developing the ability to learn, unlearn, adapt, build, and guide your own growth. The future will keep shifting. The tools will keep changing. The career paths will keep evolving. So the question becomes, what remains valuable when everything changes? The answer is thinking. A teenager who can think clearly can learn new tools. A teenager who can think creatively can spot new opportunities. A teenager who can think ethically can make better choices when the technology gets powerful. A teenager who can think constructively can build instead of complain. A teenager who can think with AI can move faster without becoming dependent. This is the real preparation. Your child does not need to know exactly what job they will have at 30. Many of those jobs may change. Some may not exist yet. Your child needs to become the kind of person who can enter a changing world and create value inside it. That is the deeper promise of education. And it is the promise we must reclaim. There is a hopeful side to all of this. AI may expose weaknesses in the old system, yet it also opens a door. A teenager who struggled with traditional school can now build things that were impossible before. A teenager with ideas can turn them into prototypes. A teenager who learns differently can get explanations in many styles. A teenager who lacks confidence can practice, revise, and improve with support. A teenager from a small country, a small school, or a quiet background can access tools that once belonged only to large companies. This matters Because talent has always been wider than the system's ability to recognize it. There are young people who do not shine in exams, yet they can become extraordinary problem solvers. There are young people who dislike memorization, yet they can become powerful creators. There are young people who feel average inside the school game, yet they may become remarkable when given the chance to build. AI can help reveal more talent, provided we teach teens how to use it wisely. That is why the future should not only make parents afraid, it should make parents alert. Alert to risk, alert to opportunity, alert to the fact that the child in front of you may have abilities the old system has not fully seen yet. If you are a parent listening to this, your concern is understandable. You are watching the world change faster than schools can adapt. You are trying to protect your child from falling behind. You are trying to make sense of a future that feels less predictable than the one you were promised. So remember this, your child's greatest advantage will not come from memorizing more than a machine. It will come from becoming more deeply human in the presence of machines, more thoughtful, more creative, more discerning, more capable of turning knowledge into value. AI can answer. Your teen must learn to question. AI can generate. Your teen must learn to judge. AI can accelerate. Your teen must learn to direct. That is the new edge. That is the new education. That is the heart of super learning. A generation of young people who do not merely use AI. They think with it. They create through it. They grow into the kind of humans the future urgently needs. Because the future will not ask your child, "How much did you memorize?" It will ask something far more important. What can you do with the intelligence around you? And the answer to that question begins now.